you're about to meet is literally a flash of brilliant color on the often drab South London landscape. I'm Amy Devers. Welcome to Designer People. Even though Zandra Rhodes' story is quintessentially British, we're starting in, of all places, Southern California.
There's no point in doing anything unless you do it to the best of your ability. You know, you make it so that it's wonderful for people to be at.
And so I see that sometimes you cut out shapes and pin them.
Oh yes, so if you decide, look, I didn't like those. They were too small and nasty. Forget it. We're not spending our time doing that at the moment.
She peaked very early in her career because of her outlook and attitude to design.
So who started punk? Many say it was Malcolm McLaren, Vivienne Westwood, and the Sex Pistols. But before Johnny was rotten and Sid vicious, Zandra's work was anticipating a seismic fashion shift.
If you go back to the early collection of Zandra, she had actually done a whole series of chiffons with tears. Zandra's punk was really super elegant and beautiful.
I'd been doing all these fantasy printed dresses, and suddenly, I don't know why, life felt as if it should be plain and unprinted. So I did a whole collection in black jersey and made the tears like beautiful holes, and then beaded safety pins pinning them together. And in fact, my beaded safety pins were copied by Versace like 10 years later. The time that I spent with Grant Mudford was a wonderful time that we drove across America in a Volkswagen camper. I saw a lot of America, which influenced me to do first my cowboy collection in 1975, which at that time no Americans had done a cowboy collection.
When Zandra and I traveled together, she was a very prolific sketcher. She always had a sketchbook, and she did these amazing sketches, usually with magic markers, felt pens.
It's inevitable that your career goes up and down. I think there are times when you think the whole world's forgotten you.
People think that Zandra doesn't have any problems, but those who know her closely knew that she was actually struggling to try and, keep up with everything if the collection didn't sell, expensive to produce, all of those things.
Ricardo Legarreta is the architect that I commissioned to do this building. In Mexico City, there are these gorgeous flashes of colour that originally started with Barragan and got continued with Legarreta. I'd already heard about him, and he agreed to design the building.
The Fashion and Textile Museum is a contemporary space, gallery space. We have a small permanent collection. So she wanted to find a place where people could study and use her own collection. She has about 4,000 dresses. She has a massive archive.
So I founded the Fashion and Textile Museum, and just when I was founding that, along came San Diego Opera. And they got me to design first the costumes for the Magic Flute. Then they asked me to do sets and costumes for the Pearlfishers. There's a lovely picture of Diana Ross in one of my golden outfits that I did in about 1986. Freddie was wonderful. He rang me out of the blue, and at the time, I didn't even know what Queen played. More recently, Kelly Osbourne has a poster of mine, and I've been in one of their filmings.
Just to slip into a Zandra Rhodes creation seems to lift away the somber and serious side of life that all too often seems to dominate our thoughts. When you went up against a wall, you just found a way around it. Would you say that's been consistent throughout your life?
Yes, I'd say when I went up against the wall, after running at it and bashing one's head, you think, what's the solution? Is it, usually, the solutions come to you in the end. I mean, when I get to have to do commencement speeches for students, I always say to them they shouldn't give up. Just don't give up. And always surround yourself with people that are equally enthusiastic. Get rid of the ones that aren't enthusiastic.